Good afternoon, traders. It is Tuesday, April 28th, 2015, and the U.S. stock market is closed. Well, today I experienced the total eclipse of the sun of trading. I don't know what I'm laughing about, but I am laughing. Actually, I'm kind of in a good mood for some weird reason. We set a record today. I had the worst losing day trading since 2009. We closed out a total of negative over $35,000 today. You know, we had, I think, what did we have? We had like negative 27,000 open trade yesterday, and you know, obviously it didn't get any better. We got stopped out in a lot of stuff, and it went to over $35,000, and this is absolutely as bad as it gets. I'm calling it the total eclipse of the sun of trading. Just absolutely unbelievable. It just takes my breath away. Now, you might think, well, what's Trader Bob going to do? Is he going to quit or hang himself or something like that? No, not at all. I actually am feeling pretty good today. Just to kind of put this in perspective, I went back and I filled in the spreadsheet for April. And you know, what's unbelievable is that even after filling in this horrible loss of over $35,000 that we had today, you know, we're still profitable in April. That's unbelievable. But the fact is, you know, we had a good month. We had over $40,000 up until yesterday, and $35,000 didn't blow away all the profits. So technically, we're still green for April. And even if you assume that things are going to be so bad that we're going to lose that last $5,000-$6,000 in profits we have, we still are going to have like 25% profits for the first 4 months of the year, and that projects to like 75 to 80% annual return if you want to draw it out like that. And all I can say is this is a trading system from hell. Very few people can trade it. It takes it absolutely destroys your personality almost. It is so hard to stick with, and to, you know, $35,000 a day. Hey, look, I can remember when $35,000 bought a beautiful house with a gorgeous backyard, and one day, due to the capricious movement of these markets, it's gone. And it's really hard to live that way. I'm going to tell you that. But the fact is, if you can live that way and trade this way, this system has the potential for making 50, 100%, even 200% a year, because I've done that. I have 6 years, consecutive years. I even published the broker statements on it. I have 6 years. I made over 200% a year trading this system. So it's a great system for building up very high returns, but the fly in the ointment is you will have these days that are just absolutely intended to drive you out of the marketplace, to drive you crazy, to make you sick, and make you wish you never ever heard of the stock market. And that's all I can say. It's very tough, but it does pay off. And when I went back and did those spreadsheets and realized, hey, in spite of the fact that we were, you know, up 25% for the first 3 months of this year, and in April, this 4th month, that we've had this horrible, the worst possible day that I've had since 2009, and after that horrible day, I am still profitable for April. Hey, it's a good system. And, you know, I did have a feeling that we didn't have a turnaround day today, but all of a sudden things are back to normal. You know, the Dow comes down here, it puts in this nice bull spike, almost gets down to my middle red line there, and then it rallies beautifully. And we didn't get into too much. We only got into 4 trades today, but 3 of them are profitable. Now, big profits, but it's just like everything is suddenly back to normal functioning. But what we saw yesterday and early today was not normal functioning, and I just want to show you some examples of this. This first one is GNE, that's Genie Energy, I believe. This is a new stock. Was one of these new ones I thought was going to do so great. We get this thing yesterday on the pop, almost by the high of the day. It just sells off, sells all day, and then this morning, bam, we are stopped out. And folks, this thing costs us nearly $7,000. One stock, $7,000 out the window here. It still goes a little lower, but then it puts in its bull spike, and look at this thing rally. And you know where that thing closed today? That would have actually been a profit for us had we held that position from yesterday. This isn't normal, people. You know, those of you who design systems, maybe you're looking at some figure, well, there's got to be a way of redesigning a system so it won't do that. I'm going to tell you, you don't see this. This is the eclipse of the sun. You don't see this but once in a blue moon. So forget about trying to design a system that's going to avoid this. This is something that's going to happen. It happened to us, and I say it's something that's only going to happen once every few years, but it happened. Anyway, I'll show you another one here. This is, you know, this pattern where we said down, just getting stopped out at the very bottom and then rallying. We saw that again and again today, and it's so frustrating. This is Solar City. Look at this thing. We bought this yesterday on this big pop-up on the open, and then it sells off against us. We're stopped out this morning, bam, and then the thing takes off, and we end up having to buy it again. And then it sells off a little. We're only down a couple $100 on this, but still, it's just crazy whipsaw stuff. And this is very unusual, and there's really not too much we can do except say, hey, crazy whipsaws. But anyway, this was the only losing trade today. Everything else was really looking good, and I'll show you just a couple of the things that look good today. These aren't big trades, but they're nice trades. This is another Solar Energy. This is CSIQ, Canadian Energy. We buy this today. Nice pop up there. We get in it, and it just keeps going. We have over $1,000 in profits in Canadian Solar. And then the other good one, then this is a very similar pattern to what we saw with the Canadian Solar. This is CRUS, Cirrus Logic. And this thing, you notice we're not into this coming in, but it did the same pattern. Down it goes hard right early in the day, and then it rallies from there, and rallied so strong we jumped into this thing, and we are again holding well over $1,000 in Cirrus Logic. All this stuff, these last two this is like the system works. It's not, those other patterns they show are so unusual, but they come along once in a while, and it all came together today. And as I say, we had the total eclipse of trading, and it was pretty horrible. But the good thing about, and the reason why I'm laughing, is that we're not going to see that again for a good long time. Got that out of the way. And we'll start doing this kind of stuff that we're seeing right here, and we'll we will make money. And as I say, even in spite of what happened to us, with a $36,000 loss in a single day, we're still gonna close April with profits, most likely. Anyway, so I'm pretty up, believe it or not. After the worst day in 5 years, I am pretty up. This is Trader Bob signing off. I'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday.